Hello and welcome to Friday Rants. Today's Friday Rant is about the Nobel Peace Prize. I like to talk with my students about Alfred Nobel for his contributions to science, his prize, the gases that bear his name, but a lot of people don't know about some of his other inventions. Alfred Nobel was also instrumental in the development of trinitrotoluene, aka TNT, aka dynamite. And so I like to point this out because chemistry, like life, is so full of paradoxes, and the Nobel Peace Prize is actually funded by the sale of explosives. The Nobel Peace Prize has become a political instrument. And if you look at the people to whom it was given, it apparently seems to be a prize that is given to people not because they're advocating peace or advocating science, but because they're advocating something else. And I can't exactly say what that thing is, but looking at the recent nominees and recipients, it tells an interesting story. The Nobel Peace Prize ostensibly goes towards people who have been fostering peace, fostering amity, fostering cooperation in the world. And when I grew up, Maria Theresa was awarded, I think, the Nobel Peace Prize, and she deserves it. She was definitely the kind of paragon of virtue for whom and to whom that particular award was designed to be given. Then you look at Barack Obama, who was also nominated for it, who started more wars than anyone else. It's interesting that shortly after the 2020 election was over, a politician went on the floor of the French Parliament and talked about how, for the first time in almost 50 years, an American president had just been removed from office who had not actually started a war, and that already Joe Biden was talking about expanding our military presence and extending it, which is rather fascinating. But more to the point, this individual I heard this week was nominated, Stacey Abrams, the gapped-toothed, flamboyant, belligerent, former Georgia Senate nominee who's never won anything, who was nominated because she helped flip Georgia blue. Now, I don't know if she did that. I think they're unjustly ascribing that to her, but how does that foster peace? Whether you believe that Trump supporters have started riots or not, electing Democrats clearly does not bring peace. It has actually fomented discord. And so once again, the Nobel Peace Prize has been given to a Democrat politician in America whose actions have directly led to an outcry of raucous and belligerent behavior. What does then the Nobel Peace Prize mean when it is given out like candy in order to facilitate a particular political ideology? It's no more valuable than awarding someone the old Roman laurels of peace for defeating an enemy at war. Because the only time you actually have peace is when an enemy is destroyed. And so it begs the question of, what do Democrats mean by peace? I don't know that they mean the same thing with peace that you and I hear when we think about peace. I think it's just as paradoxical as where the money for the Nobel Peace Prize comes from in the first place. So, looking at the Nobel Peace Prize, it's become just another cavalcade of cash and prizes to give people credence who otherwise can get none. What has Stacey Abrams won? And where did Barack Obama bring peace? Unless, of course, you're spelling peace, P-I-E-C-E. Because then, yes, Stacey Abrams helped get the Democrats a peace, and Barack Obama definitely got his. So I don't know anymore that anything about science is scientific. We've been talking for a year now, thanks to Dr. Fauci, whoever gave him a PhD or MD or whatever his credentials are, needs to have their head examined, because they talk about following the science, but they only follow the science that already corroborates what they happen to believe. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle wrote about this paradox twice in some of his Sherlock Holmes novels. Number one, he mentioned in the study in Scarlet that it is useless to theorize without facts, otherwise you begin to bend facts to fit theories, which is precisely, I think, what science does anymore. And secondly, I don't know which one this is in, he says to the constable, so in other words, you investigate the obvious and ignore everything else. Anymore, that's what science has become, sophistry. It has become a way to manipulate people, to make them think that that people are things they are not, and that things that we want to sell them are more valuable than they really are. I myself, in my experience as a scientist, have seen this firsthand. And to my everlasting shame, at one point I did rub out an unknown object from an image that we were intending to publish. It never got published, so I don't really feel bad about it, because my PI told me to. But it makes me wonder how many well-meaning, well-intentioned PhD aspirants have done the same thing, and how many of them continue to do it and say, okay, oh well, it's for science. Because science, like so many other things, has come to mean that it is for the scientists and not for anyone else. So what then does the Nobel Peace Prize serve? It seems to serve not peace, but people who, because they believe they are noble, believe they deserve a peace. And that is a problem, because science is not supposed to advance certain individuals because they agree with an idea. Science, I believed, although I learned this was incorrect when I was in college, was supposed to be the search for what really was, and not an attempt to prove what we wanted to be true. But all too often, the science that is published in order to corroborate and substantiate something that is inaccurate or incomplete. And we have wasted millions of dollars, lots of man hours, and lots of people's minds selling them things that are half-truths and whole lies. And that's where the problem of this wholly lies. That this is no longer about science at all. That the Nobel Peace Prize, its recipients, those who talk about science, those who talk about peace, don't mean those words the way that we do. They mean them in ways that they can manipulate our minds. Perhaps these words mean other things than the normal denotation and connotation to which we have become accustomed, or perhaps they are saying it with a different spelling. When Joe Biden became president, he said he wanted people to he wanted the nation to heal, and people assumed he meant H-E-A-L. I am convinced now he meant H-E-E-L. And they leave us thinking that it means something that they did not say because we don't bother to ask. Whether you believe Stacey Abrams is a good person or not is not important. The question to ask yourself is this the person to whom this prize should go? Time magazine put Adolf Hitler on its cover twice as Man of the Year, and while certainly an influential man, I don't think that's an honor I would ever seek. And so, comparatively, consider who really deserves it. Maria Theresa, Mahatma Gandhi, these are people who deserve a Nobel Peace Prize. But there are other people in your neighborhood, in your community, in your nation, in your state, in your vocation, in your circumstances, maybe in your family, who deserve a Nobel Peace Prize far more than someone who's managed only to become famous because they lost. If that's the criteria for winning the Nobel Peace Prize, perhaps you should nominate me. I've lost a lot too. Now, before you think that I'm simply partisan, Donald Trump was nominated as well. I do not think he deserves it either, because whatever you think of him, he has not met the criteria, as I understand it, for peace or science or to be noble. He was a man full of flaws, and while all men have them, he had perhaps more than his fair share. And so to lump him together in the same category as those who deserve it, because it is very obvious that they do, simply because you like a man, evinces that you are not objective, and that science and selection has become a matter of sophistry. The Nobel Peace Prize is supposed to elevate the greatest among us, not to elevate someone to the status where those who are great belong. And whether you believe Adolf Hitler was great or not, he definitely affected peace a lot more than Stacey Abrams ever has. But that's all I have to say about that. I am a scientist. I am trained. I have credentials. They're not very, they're not very prestigious necessarily, but I at least have them. What do these people have? And why are they at the top of the list? Maybe we should spend the time finding someone more worthy and finding out the people who belong in the greatest, the pillars of our community should be on the pillars of our community, and not people who believe they belong there, or who someone who is powerful wants to put there in order to hoodwink and bamboozle the nation. Beware when scientists sell you things. Scientists are also for sale. Good luck and Godspeed.